Hello and welcome to court. Today's video is going to be a lot of fun. We went up north a couple of months ago to visit Dionysus's family, and while we were up there we visited an antique mall that had a ton of kids' vintage clothing. The items are from about the 1950s to the 80s, we believe. I don't quite remember the prices of everything, but they will be listed in the description box below, so check that out. We always like to keep our eyes out for anything vintage for the baby, but usually it's very expensive. And I simply cannot justify spending that amount on someone who is going to outgrow it. I'll also list the vintage store that we got everything from. It was huge. It was an antique mall. I don't know why I said it was a vintage store like it was a little place. It was an antique mall. It was giant and we didn't even get to look at half of it before we had to go. So let's jump into it. The moment I saw this Coca Cola sweater, I immediately fell in love, especially because the baby doesn't have a ton of warm items. We tend to rotate out his winter clothes quite quickly and do a lot of laundry, simply because we don't like to buy a lot of things that, once again, he will outgrow. So when I saw this, I was like, this is perfect. The red collar is built into the sweater. It kind of looks like it would be separate, but it's not. It's all one piece. We think that the shirt is from about the 80s. It's probably one of the newer pieces that he was able to get, but it's just adorable and I couldn't pass it up, especially because Coca-Cola products age very well. So he could very likely pass this on to someone else that he might know when he's older. This pale yellow vest was really cute, and as soon as I saw it, I knew that it would be perfect for the baby. Low-key, my favorite part about this is that the tag says it's 100% acrylic. I was like, I feel that. Deteriorate? No. Break down? No. Mend? Possible. The pale details at the bottom of the vest, the scalloped edging at the bottom of the vest is just too adorable. And there is a lot of wiggle room with this vest. We didn't pin it or anything in the video, but it naturally sort of clings to his shirt. So I think this is something that he could keep for probably a year or two. This red romper gave us major Annie vibes, especially because the baby is a redhead, and it was too adorable to pass up. The only thing that made me nervous when we bought it was the fact that it might be too short in the length, and I didn't quite know if the baby would fit into it, but thankfully he does. This is one of the few items that still has the size marked in it, or rather the size is visible. It's marked as a 4T. The baby is in about a 4 to 5T. Yes, he's young, but he's very tall. So the sizing, I would have to say, is right on. Quite honestly, I haven't bought much vintage clothes, so I didn't know how far the sizing was going to be off. And this was one of the few items that did have the actual sizing marked in it. So the sizing is pretty spot on. If you've ever bought vintage items for yourself as an adult, you know that that sizing could be way off or spot on. You just have to try the clothes on. I held this up to him. It fit. It's adorable. I cannot wait for it to get warmer for him to enjoy this. The blue overalls with the pinstripe detailing were adorable. Everything is adorable. I'm not afraid to admit it. I think all of the clothes are adorable. Duh. I don't know if the detailing on the bottom, which is a baseball glove and a baseball, are original to the piece. They're a little bit frayed, but that doesn't mean that they aren't original. But it's a cute detail anyway, so we got it. This item also had the sizing in it. It was marked as a 4T as well, and quite honestly, it fits like a 5 to 6T. I don't know if 6T is a thing. I don't know when children start wearing kid clothes, but it fits really close to some of the bigger items he has now. I don't know if that is the brand or if there was a change in sizes or whatever the case is, but because this runs a little bit on the big side, it should make it, well, it depends on how much he grows, but it should make it well into next summer and maybe beginning of next fall. The shirt and short set is amazing. Everything is amazing. I don't really know what else to say. Kids' clothes are cute. What do you want me to say? I need to look up at the source and find another thing for cute and adorable, and I love it, because that's pretty much the whole video. I have no shame, but that's pretty much the whole video. This set was sold together, and I believe it was marked down because there are 2 buttons at the top of his neck that appear to be where a bow tie or a necktie would have fastened, but we didn't get that, and it wasn't anywhere on the rack that we could see. Dionysus does plan on making him a button-on little bow tie so that we don't have to take off the original buttons, because vintage buttons, especially for something that already has buttons, are extremely hard to find. I'm really glad that these 2 separate. The shorts aren't really wearable without the top. I mean, you can do it, but you would see visible buttons. I guess if you have a long shirt over it that's untucked, it would be fine. But the shirt is very wearable without the shorts because the buttons are so low that you could just have the shirt tucked in and it would be fine. I love the little Peter Pan collar on it, and the matching lace details on the collar and the sleeves are adorable. The sleeves actually roll down, so if he's wearing a jacket, you can see that peak of lace, or if he's just wearing the shirt, it goes up to about 3/4 lengths on him with that lace detailing on the edge of the sleeve rolled up. The wool suit is so cute. It's so cute. I love it so much, and it is so warm. It's a little short in the sleeves, but I'm okay with that. We can easily hem those up to 3/4 length. I don't want to cut it though, so we'll just roll that and hem it in, but it is a perfect fit on him other than lengthen the arms. The shorts have an overall, as you can see, so there's a bit of an adjustable period, and he does have some length left in there that we can either add buttonholes to or just use the buttonholes that are already there. I really want to find some cute, thick, long socks for him, because this would be just so adorable to go out and about with him dressed up all dandy. There is some elastic in the back of the shorts that hasn't been stretched out at all, not just in age, but isn't stretched out when he's wearing it. So depending on how much use we get out of those suspenders, this might be in his collection for a couple years. The last item we got were the Chaps. Now, we believe the Chaps are from the 1950s. Quite honestly, these are pretty big on him. They don't even fit in the legs at all, but he doesn't really care. He loves them to ride his horsey. I got these because they were leather. And if you've ever looked up leather Chaps for children from the 50s, they typically go for like sometimes hundreds of dollars, depending on the design and if it has a tag and what condition it's in. So I was floored to find these at an affordable price. I was also really happy to find these without any really terrible indigenous iconography on them, because that's a lot of what the Chaps were at the time. You've seen Western films from the 50s, and you know what I'm talking about. This just has bull horns cut out of a different leather tacked onto there, and it looks adorable on him. Normally, this would have been paired with like a Western shirt, but I warn you, if you Google that, it is just as bad as the Western films from the time. So we're not going to do a Western shirt with it when we style it. He'll either play in what he has on, or I would love to find a fringed kids jacket that would just look adorable with this. Normally, I would think that that would be impossible in the price point that I'm looking for, but we found these Chaps extremely affordable when normally they go for $100, a couple $100. So I'm just going to keep my eye out and hope for the best. Overall, I'm really impressed with this haul, but more importantly, and I'm sure you could tell from all the videos that you just saw, the baby is very impressed with this haul. It's really nice to give these clothes some new life and to have another child experience the magic that they can bring. I always think it's really great to buy secondhand for kids' clothing, not just vintage, but secondhand in general, because they grow so quickly and the stuff is going to get dirty. So, I have a question for you. What was your favorite item of clothing that you cherished as a child? I used to have this yellow and white, it was like pinstriped Tweety Bird overalls, and I literally wore them until my mom made shorts out of them. And then when the shorts didn't fit anymore, she made it a skirt. So I had a skirt pair of overalls. Started as pants, went to shorts, then it went to a skirt. Check out our description box below for all of our social links, and we will see you later. Until next time.